class, this presentation is about the homepage history of Harvard University. We start with 1997. In 1997, as we can see from the screenshot, we didn't have absolutely any margins at all for our homepage, and we didn't have a navigational bar. We simply had links to click on if we wanted to find something. In addition, you kind of had to browse and read everything to be able to find what you were looking for. 1998, we see a little bit of a change on the layout. Unfortunately, we can't see the images. However, we start seeing the L shape type of navigation. And here it's not a complete navigation on the left hand side, but we do have some history. The links became more prominent and easier to read, and we have less of them. 1999, so I feel like in here on the left hand side, it's kind of like the news of what was going on at the time. So if you wanted to read some news, you went right to the left hand side to read for the website. And again, we have our links that function as a navigational bar. We move on to the 2000s. Quite an improvement with the navigation. Now we kind of see the logo, a little bit of an image, and we're starting to see it's the birth of what we know as our current navigational system. Again, we still have the news and the links. 2001, a touch of green, and we're gonna see that moving on. You'll see what I'm talking about. Again, the links, a little bit of still the same navigational bar, less links, easier to read. It kind of seems like a little advertisement. Research matters. 2002, green all over the homepage, and we see a little contrast with a lighter green or yellow, bigger navigational bar, less of the navigational links as we had it in here. I think that about Harvard academics admissions, they started to take shape on a horizontal view. Some images, not a big difference from 2002 into 2004. Again, we have the horizontal navigational bar, less links, which is good, less clutter, an anamorphic image. Hopefully that wasn't the case for this. Looking a little better and more of what we see now in the present. Moving on, 2006, we still have the green and the yellow. We still have the horizontal navigational bar, and we're starting to see news taking place a little horizontally. Also, this darker green was the background of the lighter, and the lighter had the content. Footer is part of the background. 2008, another change in color. Now we're going to all black. Better images, more prominent. We have the Harvard logo in the background. The black and the red definitely help bring out the image. The logo and the name not as prominent, but they're still there. The horizontal navigational bar became smaller, but I'm sure once you click here, you're able to see more sub-pages. 2010, images, the same navigational bar. These news move right to left. Started to see a little bit of the scan for smartphones, the appearance of social media. We are incorporating social media icons and logos to the footer of the homepage. 2012, very different. Again, horizontal navigation, a search menu. Now people could simply search instead of browsing. More images, these scroll as well. Something different that I found is that the news are in this 3-line grid. We're finding this to be more modern, and I think they want to incorporate it more to be more mobile friendly, because you could scroll a lot through and read the little nuggets of news. Moving on, we still have our search bar. We have our horizontal navigation. They have improved the font type, which is easier to read. Images scroll as well. Oh, and again, the background color, we're back to white. 2016, just a year ago. White color, very sleek, no clutter. The little nuggets of news are there, and we know they're part of a grid, but they're not constrained in specific rigid lines. Makes it easier to look at. Our logo became the center part of the homepage. We continue on 2016. It's definitely mobile friendly, so you scroll through to be able to see everything on the website. Especially we take into account a mobile device where everyone is scrolling up or down or left and right. It makes it definitely mobile friendly for users. Social media has its own little scrolling nugget. Twitter. In our footer, we have everything else: Google Plus, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Moving on to the present, not very different from last year. Our logo is still center, very prominent. We still have the horizontal navigational bar. Users can still search for what they're looking for instead of browsing. Again, we still have the beautiful contrast of white and red, and a darker touch of red. And again, we have our little nuggets of events in these 4-grid homepage. They're back to being in these little boxes. They didn't have them back in 2016. They didn't have a background for the boxes. For me, it works. Someone might argue that they're not visually appealing because they're not symmetrical. Here we go. We have another special scroll page dedicated to social media only. Definitely we're seeing the power of social media and the impact. And again, let's not forget our navigation. Throughout our scrolling pattern, we never lose the navigation and this important search bar if we were to want to type in something instead of browsing. Thank you for watching, class. I hope you enjoy my presentation.